If you're only tracking progress based on what the scale says, you're actually missing 90% of the victories that you're having that are going to lead to your dream body. The scale is one tool, but it's not everything. And today I'm going to walk you through the non-scale victories that matter the most and that you should be tracking. And most importantly, how these non-scale victories are signs that you're on the right track. So even if the scale doesn't move, these wins are signs that you're on your way to building that body, lifestyle, and feeling that you're really after. So we're going to get into those NSVs, let's call them. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's go.
I was going to say, any V's?
You got any V's on the brain?
I do.
For those of you who don't know, Mike and I just recently moved, and we don't drive a regular gas vehicle anymore for the most part. We mostly just drive our NEV. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
It's a little cart.
A little cart. We call it a golf cart, but it really is not,
It's
a,
not
golf
a golf cart.
We don't golf.
Yeah.
And it's more like built like a little Tonka truck.
It looks to me like, for those of you who had little kids or had kids when they were small and you bought them those cars, those like Jeeps, Escalades that were for little kids, battery powered.
Yeah.
It's like that, but for adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much, built for like, exactly. It has everything. It has brakes, suspension.
Yeah.
Got a stereo in there. Apple CarPlay.
So no, we're not, this episode is not about NEVs.
No,
it's about NSV.
NSV.
Non-scale victories. But first, let's do the rundown of the things that I need you to do for us, which is follow us on Candidly_with_coffee on Instagram and leave us a 5-star review over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're a fan of the show, we'd appreciate if you take the time to do that. It really does help us out. And then, of course, subscribe on YouTube because you get everything on YouTube. You get the show plus everything else to see us, navigate our everyday lives. We show that over on YouTube, and really we've been doubling down on sharing what empty nest life is because that's at the stage of life that we're at right now.
Empty nesters.
So you get like a window into empty nest life when you are a subscriber over on YouTube. So make sure you do that. And if you are looking to get fit, get healthy, but you're busy, you don't have a lot of time, we did release our new program, the Thrive in 3 program. So scan the QR code up on the screen if you are interested in purchasing that. It's very cost effective. So like if you're looking for something budget friendly, but that's going to be the strategy that works, all you have to do is follow it in these very small ways, then this is the program for you. So make sure you scan that QR code. And if you've ever said, I'm doing everything and the scale won't move, you're not alone, because that's why we're doing this episode. And that's why this episode matters, because I feel like people say that a lot. I'm doing everything. I don't know what's wrong. Calorie deficits don't work.
Yeah, you're not doing it correctly.
You had a client who her progress pictures were amazing. Every week they were so good. I was like, dang, like her body's responding so good. She's losing so much body fat. The scale was kind of all over the place, especially if you have a lot of body fat on you, your water retention really fluctuates a lot. It can fluctuate a lot. So the scale is really not a great tool. It's a tool, but not a great tool at that point, especially if you're someone that retains a lot. But the pictures were so incredible, honestly. Not only was she having like good progress, she was having excellent progress. And because the scale didn't move, she lost her motivation. The scale didn't move as much as she would have liked. And it's really hard for me to see people do that, when especially the ones that are like having like this is like knock your socks off transformation that's happening. And that's really hard. But there's something, it's kind of like, have you seen that meme of when the guy gets behind the other guy and he holds the guy's eyes open? Yeah. Sometimes I want to do that to my clients. Like, can't you see? Can't you see the progress?
They're fixated on a number on the scale too much. Throw that thing away. Stop fixating on it.
It's crazy because we talk about it a lot. We've talked about it even a few weeks ago, but it's so important for you to use other measurements of progress to give yourself a pat on the back besides the scale.
Pictures.
So, like if your jeans feel looser, your sleeves feel looser, like random things. Do you notice that maybe your watch is kind of spinning around, or your rings?
Yep.
Your shoes even.
Your shoes.
Your shoes. Did you lose weight on your feet?
I probably did. I think so.
I feel like I was always a true 8 for a long time now. 8's big on me. So I must have carried some fat in my feet at some point. When I was heavier, I had bigger feet.
It's weird how it just, it's something that you cannot control is where fat goes, where it disperses. You know what I'm saying? It goes all over different parts of the body.
Off.
And where it comes off, yeah. Like I know exactly when I'm losing weight, it starts in my face. Then it works its way down to my chest and arms a little bit. Then it comes down to my stomach. It's weird the way. Some people straight to their stomach.
Yeah, so if the scale is like not moving or moving slowly or even going up for that matter, but your jeans are fitting better, your belt is a little loose, you can tighten up that a little bit. Like you're noticing things, your neck, your just like different things. Like for me, like my facial fat, I gain and lose a lot of fat in my face. And
same.
You know, it's not always going to reflect on the scale. And this is the crazy part that people don't get. If you are pinpointing non-scale victories like that, like clothing changes, and the scale isn't dropping, that's actually even better. Because if you're doing strength training and you're losing body fat and the scale is not dropping, what does that mean? You're putting on muscle.
Yep.
It's working. That's what it means.
Yes.
The scale isn't moving. That means what you're doing is working. Because you're not doing these weight training workouts and your body's not responding to them. That's just not happening if you're following your program. So if your scale is like, I feel like especially when people get close to like the recomping, the scale, not only does it not move sometimes or go up, it ruminates in like a 4-pound range. Goes up and down and up and down and up and down, but your body is changing. And sometimes your body is changing and it's not obvious. And that's what's annoying. It's not always going to be your pants are going to feel looser. Guess what? Because maybe that week you lost some body fat at your ankle or behind your knee. Like you said, like it's going to come off in these random places, kind of like all over your big toe.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to come off of your waistline. People think, oh, but my pants are still tight. Well, maybe you didn't lose it off your waist. Maybe, unfortunately for you, your waist is going to be the last thing that the body wants to take it off of. And that sucks, but that's just a large in part to genetics.
Yeah, and all the crunches in the world you do and sit-ups and ab work, it's not going to take fat off your belly area.
So a really good way to know if you are having progress is how do you feel in the gym? Do you feel strong?
Not just strong. Do you feel energized? Like when
Yes,
you're doing the movement and
gains.
pushing?
Endurance.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like zap, like you're hitting a wall?
Are you lifting heavier? Are you able to do more reps? You're not needing as much rest. You're not as you don't need as much recovery. Like you feel good. Like you said, you feel like lately when I've been leaving the gym, I feel energized. Like you said, I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
That's how you should feel.
Yeah. And that's a good sign. That is an NSV. That's a non-scale victory.
So let me break it down to y'all real quick. So when you work out and you do a strenuous hard workout, like you're feeling it that day, you push, you still should feel good leaving that gym. You shouldn't feel like you just got beat up, like you're like just beat up where you could barely walk out of the gym, exhausted, tapped out. Something's not, either your nutrition's not right or you didn't sleep right the day before. But you should feel good. You should feel like a second wind of just energy just came on.
Yeah, that is a very good point. And when you start to feel that, no matter what the scale says, that's a non-scale victory because that means you're getting stronger.
Yep.
And you're able to endure this workout. And a strong body is a lean body over time.
That is so true.
Strong body you'll be strong and lean. Lean means you are going to have a less body fat and more muscle. A strong and lean body is a body that has lowers its body fat percentage and increases the lean muscle percentage. But when you are lowering something and simultaneously increasing something, what happens? Sometimes nothing on the scale, sometimes a gain on the scale. A gain on the scale, if you're strength training, feeling strong, and your body fat's dropping, that's a better win than a loss on the scale.
And you got to understand something too, is depending on the workout you've done, like say you did a hard leg workout the day before and the next day you're a pound up, that's inflammation as well. So don't take it like, oh, I gained a pound. It could be from inflammation. Not a bad thing. It's just from your workout. That's it. A lot of times it's just water. Our bodies are weird. Our bodies is, what is it, what's the percentage of bodies?
70%, I think.
70% of water. So it's going to fluctuate. But the mirror and the pictures tells the story. And your clothes. Sounds like you put on a pair of jeans. They don't automatically just get bigger. You shrunk.
I feel it. Like for me, I've weighed myself since we moved. I weighed myself a little after we got there, maybe like a week after that. I haven't weighed myself since. Because I know I'm not looking to the scale to determine how I'm doing, because that wouldn't be a great tool for me right now where I'm at. I'm not in I'm not in calorie deficit. I'm not trying to lose body fat. I'm not chasing a particular number on the scale. But what I'm paying attention to is all the things I'm talking to you guys about right now, like what we talked about. I'm paying attention to how I feel in the gym, strong and energized after. Yes. I'm just paying attention to how my body feels in general. Like when I'm walking, I feel, sometimes I'll like touch my legs and I feel like, oh, okay, they feel tighter. They feel, like stronger, tighter.
That's from less body fat too as well.
Oh, that's for sure.
Muscle is a lot more dense and harder.
Yeah, so I feel that. And so those are the things I'm looking to personally right now. I'm not using the scale at all as a tool right now. It's dusty. Because it's not going to help me.
No.
It might ruin my mood, even though I know the things. It's like, I don't want to see that. I'm like, why would it jump up 4 pounds? And you start second guessing yourself or whatever. I don't have a coach that's going to talk me off the ledge. I'm my own coach. So, what's the point of weighing if I don't need that data anymore. I don't really need that data. Biofeedback is the best way to track progress, especially if you're at that place in your journey where, you've lost a good amount of weight. You're not really hugely focused on fat loss. You're more like trying to be strong and build muscle. So like another thing is, how's your energy and sleep? It's huge. That's huge. Number one, we like to talk to our clients is sleep. That's the first thing. Before I start coaching anybody, I start asking, how's your sleep? If it's horrible, we got to work on that. That's priority number one before anything. Forget tracking macros. Forget these fancy workouts you're going to do. Hard work. Throw that out the window. You got to get your sleep on point. That's number one. Yeah. Then we tackle that. Then we work on the other things. Yeah, sleep is important. And people tend to just like, oh, my sleep is bad, but I can't deal with that right now. Let's get into the diet. It's like you can't skip over things. And that's a very important marker of how you're doing, because a healthy, strong, fit body has really good sleep. Those people, you don't find someone who's healthy, strong, fit, happy, energetic, and tells you they sleep like shit. You don't get that. You don't see that. They might have one night of bad sleep out of a few weeks or a month, and they're like, oh my God, I slept like crap. Like I hate that, But good sleep is very, very important. It's also a good measurement. Like if your sleep is good, so like now you're strong, your sleep is good, your clothes is fitting better. And I've had so many clients actually, they'll list off all those things and then they'll land on the weight. But is the scale ever gonna drop? Get back to the scale regardless.
Ask yourself this. How many times did let me ask you guys this. How many times you drank and then you had shitty ass sleep, like just horrible. And the next day, you're not happy. You're not bouncing up and down. You don't have that pep to your step. You ain't trying to go to the gym. You raised your cortisol while you drank too much, and then you had horrible sleep on top of that. So that's how important sleep is. Bad sleep can make you go crazy. It can make you into a snapperhead. And then you start compounding that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of bad sleep, or you've been for weeks, or you can go psychotic in your mind. Sleep's very important.
You know what the real problem with people who sleep poorly and they've slept poorly for a really long time? They don't even know what it feels like to feel normal. So they think that's normal. They don't understand that, oh, you're actually a nice person. You're not a snapperhead. You're not short and edgy all the time. You're just a nice person that doesn't sleep well. Try fixing your sleep and your entire world might change.
Oh, my goodness. Like I said, my sister sent me a text the other day talking about she had the best sleep in months.
What was the best thing, the best experience I had from HRT that was kind of like the fastest was my sleep improvement. I was like giddy. I was giddy about it.
I'm jealous of it.
I was so happy about my sleep because I didn't realize that I just was a bad sleeper. I just thought I was a bad sleeper. I didn't know it was hormone related.
Yeah. Once you fix that, you
change your
were
life.
You were like out like a child.
I was, and I still do.
Actually, yeah. Once you go to sleep, you're pretty much, unless something wakes you up.
Yeah, and I can sleep anywhere. Like we're staying with my cousin, and we were up late, and I didn't want to wake you up, and we were watching shows and stuff, and I slept on the couch, and I was fine. Like I'm just happy as a clam. I feel good today. Like I'm not like, oh, I slept on a couch. I'm like, slept great. I took my little magic pill. You know, everyone knows if they see me pop my pill in, oh, she's gonna be asleep in 30 minutes. 30 minutes after the progesterone for sure. The other thing that's a really good marker for you're improving, you're getting stronger, you're on your way to that happy, healthy, lean, fit person is improved appetite regulation and reduced cravings. Like you no longer feel out of control around food. Like you feel so controlled because you've implemented the habits and routines necessary to make those improvements. You've learned how to build your nutrition properly. You've learned how to not overeat, which is going to balance out blood sugar spikes. A proper balanced nutritious meal is going to help you balance blood sugar. Maybe you've started adopting the habit of walking after every meal. All those things are going to get you lean and going to get you to your goals, but they're also going to make it easier to get there. You know, you don't realize you're doing all of these things that are all a part of the puzzle and they all matter. And most of them matter more than whatever the number on the scale ends up being.
True.
Because,
very true.
And for many of you, you're doing, people are doing stuff that like they've never done before. They've never focused on protein, done strength training. They've done the fad diets. So they don't understand that there's different markers for success when you're doing it correctly. They don't understand that when you're doing it correctly, the scale moves more slowly, but the progress is more rapid. So I want to make sure I get that clear. Because if people are listening going, well, that doesn't sound like something I want to do because I want it faster. The progress and the change in your body and what you look like is more dramatic and it's faster. It just doesn't reflect on the scale like you're used to seeing. People are used to crash diets and losing a ridiculous amount on the scale. It's not body fat, it's just water. But that's how they measure the progress of that crash diet. And they think, oh, that was the best thing I ever did. I lost 8 pounds. I did a juice cleanse. I'm like, yeah, well, you're going to gain it back in a hot second.
Listen, professional fighters, boxers, MMA, those guys, for example, I'm probably about 185 right now. Let's just say I had a bout tomorrow. My weigh-in, I have a bout on Sunday. So I go to hit the scale tomorrow. I signed the contract to weigh 170. How the hell, Mike, you going to get 15 pounds? Well, what they do is they get in those sauna suits and then go in that sauna and they sweat those 15 pounds of water and it's death. They come close to death to make weight. That's how terrible. That is how dangerous it is. But it's only to get on that scale to make weight for that fight, and then you rehydrate immediately. You put that weight back on and then some, because as soon as you hit the scale, you already take your electrolytes, your special boost juice, and then you're eating immediately after. And then the next day, you're like 20 pounds heavier. And people, how do you do it? Because you lost water weight. That's it. So don't put too much on the scale. It really is just a data tool, but it's not everything.
I have some clients that I've took them away from the scale. I'm like, please, let's continue this journey at this point, but you're not going to weigh in.
I like pictures.
And then I have them do scans every so many months. Like, let's just see what your scan is saying. Let's see if there's, some change, some improvement. Another thing that's really important, and it's something that measures your progress, is your mood, your confidence, your motivation. They all get better. As you solidify these little pieces to your lifestyle, all those things kind of just start coming together and you're in a better mood more often. You're more, listen, we don't rely on motivation, but it's nice when we have it.
Of course, it comes.
And you have it more often. you get motivated. You're more motivated more often, as your mood improves, everything improves.
You're excited to go hit that workout. That was me. That was me on Friday. I don't know why. I was like a giddy little kid going back to the old gym here in San Jose Crunch, and I was that.
Well, we've been doing like our couples workouts lately.
Yeah.
And we've been enjoying those. Like I get excited to do those. Like they're fun. It's fun to like do little coordinated workouts. I did some workouts with Alyssa when she was visiting.
Yeah.
And it's fun to do those, and I'm trying to find that fun in fitness again, because sometimes it's not it's not my second nature. I'm not a super lover of the gym. I love the way it makes me feel, and I love the way I feel after. But that doesn't mean I can't work on it and try to find like, oh, you know what? That I did, I really enjoyed that. So let's do that more. Right.
So my tip for you, if I was coaching you you're my client and I'm your trainer, because I'm really good with I have the personal training background, is make sure that you're on point with your form and technique, slow and control.
Yeah.
Like I get on you. Like don't go through the motions. Too many people are just lifting and moving shit. That's it's called lifting weights, but that's not what you're really doing. You really, there's a technique behind it. You have to really zone in with your mind and your muscle, connect those two. So when you're doing the movement, like for example, if I'm doing a bicep curl, I'm bringing that weight up. I'm feeling that bicep, contract, and I give it that pause, that little second squeeze where it's like I'm flexing and I let it down slowly. I'm in control. Too many people just swinging weights around.
Okay, is this you going off topic?
A little bit.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, example, have fun, like challenge yourself.
Yeah, Let's get back on topic.
Work on your workouts, and you might have fun with it.
Yeah, like getting good at it.
Get good at it. There you go.
Getting good at it.
Master yourself.
Makes you enjoy it more.
Yes.
When you suck at something, it's hard to enjoy it. Of course. But you have to get through the suck.
You do.
That's for sure. But if you get better at it, then it builds your confidence, and you get in a better mood about going, and then you want to go more often. You skip less workouts, and then all of that, it culminates into progress.
Mm-hmm.
Like things are changing. Like, oh my gosh, and hindsight is 2020. When you look back 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I was like, wow, like I can tell the difference. I see the change. I'm feeling better. And that will motivate you even more. And none of that needs the scale to do that. I feel like sometimes the problem with the scale is people use it to see what they can get away with. That's what I think a lot of times.
A lot of times, of course.
Because I don't need to step on the scale if I know I'm good. What do I have to say? I know I'm not eating like an asshole.
You know what you're doing.
I'm eating good. I'm working out. I'm doing my thing. So the scale, what it says doesn't matter because I know I'm not. But sometimes people are like, oh, I'm going to step on the scale and see, okay, I only gained 1 pound. Okay. They're trying to see what they can get away with.
It wasn't so bad. Okay, I didn't
like,
go
okay, cool. So I can eat like an asshole again next weekend.
No. That's how you start compounding weight.
Yeah. But I do feel that way. I feel it's because people try sometimes to see if like they could get away with.
I'm guilty of that too.
Because it's like sometimes that, like we talked about in the last episode, they'll like, had a bad weekend, so they're going to do a juice cleanse or whatever so that they can step on the scale and see, I'm good. Oh, thank God. Well, no, you're not, because the juice cleanse shed the water, but the bad weekend put on body fat. So no, you're not okay. You're just trying to convince yourself that you're okay. So then you're going to do that again and again and again. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to gain and gain and gain every time you do that.
I call out a friend of mine on that. He does those 5-day fasts. And I remember he stepped on the scale after day 3 and so much weight went down.
And he shared it on social media like it was.
He shared it and I go like this. I go, how much of that was body fat? So let's be transparent. He didn't answer back. I'm like, how much of that was water and how much of that was body fat?
He didn't answer?
He didn't answer back. It's like, bro,
funny.
like.
You called him out. That's good.
You've done this several times. You'll start at 195 and you'll end up around 180, but that's water weight, dog. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real.
We have the ability to lose a lot of weight in water.
Yes.
Because we're made up so much water.
Of course.
I had this one client that, she wasn't super consistent. I would say maybe like high 60, 70% consistent. But one thing I would, with the nutrition, but I would always tell her, like, listen, there's time at some point when you're ready to really lock in with the nutrition, we can tackle that. But just because you're not really locked in on the nutrition doesn't mean you can't progress. So while you're still kind of like getting through that, at least maximize your workouts. Use the extra calories and push in the gym. And then when you're ready to lock in on the nutrition and shed the body fat, you're going to have a lot more muscle to show. And guess what?
That's very true.
No, and so you know what? Because a lot of times what happens is people will eat a lot, and because they're eating bad and not on nutrition, they slack on their workouts. I'm like, that's not the time to slack on your workouts. In fact, you're gonna get better gains.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so strong. You're gonna be able to utilize those calories. So with this client, she did that. She's like, you know what? You're right. I enjoy lifting. I'm gonna really focus in on that. And then she did a repeat body scan, and she had put on, it had been like maybe 10 months or almost a year. She put on 5 pounds of muscle. She put on like 8 pounds, but 5 pounds of muscle. It was like under 8 pounds. She was maybe like 7.4 pounds, and 5 of it was muscle, and only 2.5 pounds of it was body fat. And I was like, see, you weren't locked in on the nutrition. So now let's do a little calorie deficit so that we can preserve that muscle and lose that little, let's start losing body fat slowly. So that we can preserve.
Muscle is gold.
So we can preserve that. But see, so she didn't just fall off and gain 15 pounds. She kind of was, eating what she wanted, but utilized it and gained 5 pounds of the golden muscle.
Golden muscle.
So that's a tip for you guys too. If you're not like,
And that's a lot for a woman. 5 pounds of muscle.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it was under a year. Under a year,
that
she
is
put
a
on
lot.
5 pounds of muscle.
Probably, well, 5 pounds. That's not. Yes, it is. Even for men, that's a lot. 5 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so that's a lesson, because I think I used to be like that too. Like as soon as I wasn't being on point, I just dropped everything and was on point with nothing. So if I'm going to eat like shit, I'm not going to work out. That's when you need to work out the most. Maximize the calories. Get the muscle gains while you have the extra fuel.
Push harder.
That's
stronger.
why people do bulks and lean bulks and stuff. I don't recommend a bulk though. But
don't. But that's kind of like you're describing what bodybuilders and fitness competitors do in the off season. That's what they do.
So if you are on a journey and the scale is frustrating, what I want you to do is write down 3 things. Here I am with the number 3. I love the number 3. Write down 3 things you've noticed that have changed outside of your weight. Write 3 things, and I want you to pay attention to those things and see how they continue to progress. Let those things show you and prove to you that you are indeed progressing, even if the scale is not always cooperative. Because if you fixate on the scale too much and you get too disappointed and you let it derail you, it's just going to derail you from all those other things. And those other things are what really matter the most. So that's your homework for this episode. And on the next week, we're calling out all the noise. Mike loves these kind of episodes. Stop buying the hype. I'm breaking down the most common supplements that you're wasting your money on and what actually works instead. You'll want to hear this before you spend another dime on some magic powder. So it's going to be a good one. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.